Hello, I would like to welcome you to another amazing episode of You Were Designed for Greatness. This podcast is founded by Vibrant Living International, and our mission is to empower you, spirit, soul, and body, to help stop identity theft. And I'm not talking about your credit card. I'm talking about those things that labels that placed on us, which we're going to get into today, that begin to create an identity that's not truly ours, other people's opinion and our performance. But it's not about this today. So I just wanted to welcome you to this podcast of Vibrant Living and know that you are designed for greatness. So today I have a guest and I'll be bringing her on. So let's welcome Vera. So great.
Hello.
We've been planning this. I'm so happy you're here.
I am so happy to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation. I am so honored to be on your platform.
So, just a little bit about you according to your bio. None of us really like our bio, but it's important. So, Vera is a life coach, a speaker, a trainer, and a mediator. Just to sing a few, she has got a weekly podcast radio show called The Vera Thomas Show. And she works with organizations, companies, churches, nonprofits, developing and designing leadership programs. She's also a poet. I didn't know that. So learning to be able to share all of this. And so we're going to dive in today. And Vera, where do you live in the world?
I live in Marietta, Georgia. I'm originally from Ohio, but I've been here now since 2018. I absolutely love Georgia.
It
So
is a beautiful state.
it is.
It
It
is a
is.
beautiful state. So how was your childhood? Was it all rosy?
I wish I could say it was. I grew up with no confidence, no self
Mm-hmm.
esteem. I was bullied and ridiculed and made fun of. Oftentimes told things like, you're stupid, you're dumb, you're fat, you're ugly, you're nothing, you'll never be anything. And people don't understand. And not only by peers, but I was told these things by adults as well. And people don't understand the impact that that can have on a life, which has propelled me to do the work that I do, to try to instill greatness in parents and children and even in the workplace, because the character attacks and all these misconceived behaviors that we find ourselves living in or even experiencing ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
it is impacting on all our lives across the board.
So you get it when I talk about stopping identity theft. It's like
Absolutely.
I'm stupid becomes my identity. I'm fat. I'm ugly. I'll never amount to anything. I got told I was too sensitive and a crybaby and all of the things. Like it's like all of these things begin to, and there was more, but that we get to be that we're told that we begin to believe, and because we believe it,
It is so.
it is so. But
Absolutely.
what are you doing to help people find the truth?
Well, first I have to find the truth.
Yes.
And what I did, I remember there was a book that I read called The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol. And in that book, there was a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. And that quote was, no one can make you feel inferior without your permission. When I read that and it resonated with me, and I begin to realize it doesn't matter what other people say. It doesn't matter if you call me stupid because I know I'm smart. It doesn't matter if you call me ugly because I know that God made me to be fearfully and wonderfully made. And
Mm-hmm.
so recognizing and being able to change those tapes and now enabling others to do the same. So
Absolutely.
I've developed training programs. My one program is called Instilling Greatness in Myself and My Children. And what we do is we look at these misconceived behaviors that are impacting on our lives, on our children's lives, impacting in the workplace, impacting on society as a whole. And then I not only look at what these things are, but the causes, the impact, and resolution for those issues.
Ooh. So, what are some of them, perhaps?
Okay.
that you'd like to share?
Yes, there are actually 20 of them.
Oh my.
Yes. And so time would not permit
Yeah.
going through all of them, but let me say what four of them are. One is character attack,
Hmm.
and when people are attacking you as a person rather than addressing the behavior that is the issue. And it
Hmm.
causes it causes people to have lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem,
Yep.
feeling
Yep.
diminished, feeling belittled. And then the other is avoiding conflict altogether, at which a lot of times people avoid conflict because of having been character assassin growing up. And so
Hmm.
they feel like, well, I can't really share how I feel because I don't know how people are going to
Yep.
relate, react, or respond to me.
Got to
And
keep
then
everybody
being
happy.
right, gotta keep everybody happy. And then the defense, being defensive. And again, people become defensive because they don't want to be attacked and they don't want to feel like um, everything is their fault, you know.
Right. Right.
And so being defensive and trying to hold your own, which
Hmm.
doesn't solve the problem either. And then you've
Right.
got the blame game. If it wasn't for this, if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for her, my life wouldn't be this way.
Yeah.
When in actuality, if it wasn't for us and the choices that we've made, our lives wouldn't be this way. And being able to
Yeah.
recognize, and that's a hard pill to swallow. That was one of the things that I really came to terms with after leaving an abusive marriage and having a friend come over to my house. I left my ex husband when my son was like 6 months old. And so my son was still a baby, and I was in that bitter mode. And she came over, and I started in. If it wasn't for him, my life wouldn't be this way. And she looked me dead in my eyes and she said, "No, Vera, if it wasn't for you and the choices that you've made, your
Yeah.
life wouldn't be this way." Well, that was a hard pill to swallow. And I was like, how dare you tell me it's my fault? How dare you? But the truth of the matter is, the day I got married, I heard clearly, you should not be
Hmm.
doing this. I heard
Hmm.
that clearly. And
Hmm.
I did it anyway. And so if it
Yeah.
wasn't for me and the choices that I made, now the beauty of her making me aware of that was, as a mother, it was very important that I instilled that in my son. Had
Hmm.
I not started accepting responsibility for
Right.
my actions and my
Right.
behaviors, how would I be able to teach him that?
Right. Yeah. So many times, one of the ways I say it, we all have different ways of saying it, is life is happening with me, not to me.
There you
And
go.
so many times we feel like it's happening to me. Now, when we're children, it's happening that we don't have the choice all the time.
Right,
But as
exactly.
adults, we continue to make choices from our childhood traumas or labels or all of those things. And then we do have a choice whether how I am perceiving it. There's
Yes,
so many women that I've talked to, they were in abusive relationship that on the day of, they were like, they're sick at their stomach. I shouldn't be doing this.
yes.
Um, but what will people think?
Yes, yes, yes. And in my case, the church was full of people. We
Exactly.
had we had written all the music for our wedding. We had
All the
the
things.
sounds of birds chirping,
And
10
the
bridesmaids,
Yep,
and I'm hearing you should not be doing this, right?
yep. And so we don't listen to that intuition that God's speaking to us because we are afraid of what people think. And then we go into, I don't know how many years you were married
Three.
of abuse and difficulty because we were afraid of what people would think.
Exactly.
It seems silly when we think about it that way, but in the moment we are freaking out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. You
And
know,
I think when we stop and say it's my fault, that has judgment attached to it. But if I say I had a choice.
Yes, there's a difference.
There is a difference. I
Yes.
don't use the word fault or blame in
Right.
in
Right.
because both of them attach judgment and somehow you're bad and you're wrong and all of the things.
Guilt
You
and
made a
regret,
choice. You made
all
a
of those.
choice and you married him and you learned from it.
Yes.
And
And my
and
son wouldn't be here if it wasn't for
exactly.
him. He would not.
Exactly. So all of those good things can come out of it when we learn it. But if you continue to beat yourself up for that,
You
you wouldn't be
can't.
doing what you are today.
Absolutely. And not only that, audience, be clear. You cannot move forward looking back. And if I were to continuously
Mhm.
reflect on, oh, I shoulda, woulda, coulda, oughta, hadda, then I couldn't do what I do right now,
Right.
trying to live in the moment and grasp and hold on to what is right now and not think about what happened in the past because we can't do anything about the past. It's done. It's over.
Mhm.
We went through it, we lived through it, and now we move forward.
Right. So it's I can tell you're just a tad bit passionate about this. Just a little.
Just a
Why
tiny
why
little bit.
why is this so important? And how have you seen people learning to work with you? What have you seen happen in your world?
Oh man. First of all, I thank God for
Yes.
the ability to work with children as well as adults.
Mhm.
And one of the things in working with children, I don't want any child to ever feel like I felt growing up and hearing those
Mhm.
things. I don't want any adult to feel that it's their job to make children feel
Mm.
any kind of way. But oftentimes, hurt people hurt people. So
Yes.
recognizing that
Mhm.
parents are coming into parenting with their own unresolved issues, their own
Yes.
baggage, and
Yes.
needing to address those things because you can't teach what you don't know and you cannot give what you don't have. And so by working with me, I'm able to help people really look at who am I?
Mhm.
How did I become this way? And how can I change? What are the steps that I need to take to move forward? What are the
Mhm.
steps I need to take to make sure that I am raising confident, self-assured kids that are full of self-esteem? And I had to do that. And I
Mhm.
can honestly say that my son is one of the most positive people you'll ever meet. And he also there have been times, I mean, yes, I'm a positive person, but there have been times, when
Yeah.
I've gotten, in my stuff and he would say, now, mom, you know, and he'd have to remind me of what I taught him, And
Yeah.
so I not only through education, but also personal experiences coming into the work that I do to empower, to uplift, to encourage, to motivate, inspire, and educate. That's what I do. That is my
Yeah.
purpose.
So how can people get in touch with you and what do you have coming up?
Well, I am going to be doing an overview of these misconceived behaviors
Mhm.
that are not only impact our families, but impact our workplace as well. And
Mhm.
so employers, employees, parents,
Mhm.
can all participate in coming to this particular webinar that I will
Okay.
be scheduling. They can find me on, if they go to bit.ly/Vera Thomas,
Okay.
then they can find all my social media, my YouTube channel where my show
Okay.
is. My show is on various platforms, and reach out to me. They can also schedule a 15 to 30-minute consult with me
Okay.
through that link as well.
So we'll put that link wherever you find this video or audio so that you can learn more about what Vera is doing and how she is impacting the world. I love sharing because this is a huge need. in our world, and all wrapped up with a dose of kindness
Yes.
and just believing in each other and believing
Yes.
in people. And so that is one of the reasons why I was so happy we were able to finally get here
Yes.
today. So, one thing that you would like to give people listening in closing, what's one thing of wisdom you'd like to share?
All right. I would like to share, and it's a very short poem.
Okay.
And this is a signature poem that my kids, any child that's involved with me, they learn this and
Mm-hmm.
it resonates with them. But I've also started incorporating it with adults.
Okay.
So, what I want to say to you is when you give all to accomplish a task, there's no need to ask. That's your greatness. When you allow creativity to flow, everyone will know that's your greatness. When you share and give of yourself till little is left, that's your greatness. Your greatness need not compare with anyone, anywhere. There's no need to compete with others you chance to meet. Your greatness is unique. It makes your life complete. Just be yourself and do your best. Always do your best. That greatness, your greatness, will stand the test. Remember that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vera, for coming and sharing on You Were Designed for Greatness. It is a pleasure to connect with you, and I hope that people take advantage of you learning more about you as well.
Well, thank you so much. And it just dawned on me that particular poem was very apropos.
Yes, it was.
Oh, so God
Yes,
bless
it
you,
was.
and thank you so much for having me. And I'm looking forward to our connection. In fact, you're going to be on my show
Yes, I
probably
am.
before this runs.
Yes,
So
I
I'm
am.
excited about that. I can't wait until you're on.
That sounds wonderful. Well, another amazing episode of You Were Designed for Greatness. I think that anyone that would like to learn more about what Vera is, grab that link wherever you find this video or this audio. And as a life mastery coach, she had mentioned our baggage. And I have a workshop that is available periodically. So message me to learn, called Turn Your Baggage into Luggage, so that you can have the life you've dreamed. If you ever need someone also to talk to, the link to schedule a call with me will be available wherever you find this resource. So until next time that we are together, remember to share and download and leave reviews of this, so that the reason why I ask is it increases our reach. We need to tell more people these messages, that you were designed for greatness, and how, and the skills to live vibrantly. So until next time, this is Donna wishing you an amazing day. Bye for now.